Hello, Londoners, and welcome to the Restaurant Podcast Deep Dive.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. This week, we're doing something a little different, and honestly, it's pretty wild. Usually, we've got stacks of articles, research, maybe even my scribbled notes to unpack, but for this deep dive, our entire source material is just, 5 words. It's actually a phrase we sometimes use ourselves. All right, without wasting any more time, let's dive into this episode's topic. Okay, let's dive into this. Have you noticed things feel a bit different in the food world lately? Especially thinking about, say, London by 2025. Our sources are pointing to this, pretty profound shift. It's not just about, the perfect dish or the number of stars anymore. There's something else going on. It seems customers are picking places now based on the experience, the connection, and really the story.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And it's fascinating why, isn't it? This move away from the sort of polished, maybe impersonal vibe.
Right. That old style, it seems like it's just lost its charm completely. Now, the big thing, the new luxury, it's authenticity, just laid bare.
And people are hungry for it, not just, for food, but for the narrative behind the food. Our sources suggest it's almost a reaction to how curated everything is online.
Oh, okay. Like a pushback.
Kind of, yeah. People want something tangible, something real, unpolished connection. I mean, think about it. One source mentioned a 40% jump in searches for things like chef's story or restaurant philosophy in London just last year.
Wow, 40%. That's huge.
It really is. It points to this deeper need, I think, to see behind the curtain, understand the passion, find the soul of a place.
The soul.
The material says, a story. That's what really sticks, right? Turns a good meal into something you actually remember. Think about your own great dining experiences. Wasn't there always something more?
Yeah, definitely. More than just what was on the plate.
Yeah.
Okay, so this isn't just some fleeting trend then. It's changing how restaurants actually need to think about themselves.
Absolutely, it's fundamental.
And our sources mentioned something interesting here in response to this. A service in London called Restaurant Podcast Deep Dive London. What's that all about? How does it fit in?
It's basically designed to tackle exactly that demand for narrative. It's a service to help restaurants, the ones with a real story, to get that story out there.
So helping them translate their identity, their passion into something people can connect with.
Precisely. The idea is to kind of hook you, the listener, with maybe what you already like about a place, but then take you much, much deeper. It's not just a quick chat either.
Great.
The sources talk about a really structured process, sometimes spanning multiple episodes just for one restaurant.
Okay, multiple episodes.
Yeah.
So what kinds of stories? How does it go beyond just a standard, meet the chef interview?
Well, it sounds almost like deep dive reporting, but for food. For instance, instead of just saying we use local stuff, they might spend a whole segment tracing one specific ingredient.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, a particular heritage tomato, maybe, following it right from the farm through the chef's thinking about it to how it ends up in a specific dish. Or they might explore, fermentation techniques a chef has perfected over years.
Right, getting into the real nitty-gritty.
Exactly. Or maybe the journey of a sommelier. It's about dissecting the restaurant's DNA, you could say, building that really loyal following by showing the layers underneath.
That makes sense. Okay, picture this. Maybe there's a chef, Chef Anya, let's call her, known locally for foraging wild herbs. But maybe the wider London scene doesn't know her story. How does this service help her?
Perfect example. The sources suggest this deep dive approach could take Chef Anya's passion and, build a whole narrative arc around it across several episodes.
Okay.
So one episode might literally follow her foraging. Another could delve into the history of those herbs and cooking. A third might focus on how she's using them now, innovating in the kitchen.
So it really unpacks it.
Yeah, it turns her personal passion into something tangible, something listeners can really grasp and share. It's about finding those existing authentic stories, not making them up, which also means it helps filter for genuine passion,
That's a key point. It's not just marketing spin.
Not at all. And that's why our sources suggest this could really become a new benchmark for how London restaurants connect. It shows authenticity wins out over just, slick advertising.
Yeah, it really sounds powerful. And like our sources put it so well, with this kind of approach, we don't just sell a dish, we build a legend, one episode at a time.
Exactly. And stepping back for a second, this whole idea, this shift, it probably goes way beyond just restaurants, doesn't it?
How do you mean?
Well, if the future of dining hinges on the legend, the narrative, maybe it makes you think, what about the stories you look for elsewhere, in other parts of your life?
Good question.
Like, how much is that authentic story shaping what you buy, which brands you trust, the experiences you choose? It feels like it could be a much bigger trend, beyond just food, something to mull over.